Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Now in today's video, I have an extra special recipe for each and every one of you. This right here is for the gluten-free lovers out there, and it's also for the people who just want something a little bit different from the normal. I'm going to be sharing my recipe for a rice flour Parsad recipe or a gluten-free Parsad recipe. Now this one right here was super delicious because I like the flavor of rice flour whenever we make other sweets as well. So I wanted to try my hand at making a Parsad today. Now this one right here, especially when it dried up the next day, it had such a nice soft and fluffy texture. It was absolutely perfect. So you guys have to give this recipe a try if you want to try something different, and then you guys can let me know how it came out. So before I get into the recipe, I have to give a big shout out and a thank you to Kavita over at Lotus Bazaar for sponsoring this video and all of my videos in my Navratri and Diwali series. Now if you guys haven't heard about Lotus Bazaar before, make sure you check out Kavita at Lotus Bazaar because she has it all. She has men's, women's, children's outfits. She caters to brides and grooms for their customized outfits, and she also has lots of jewelry. And you know, every once in a while, she has a nice little sale going on for her customers. So it's definitely worth the trip to check her out. I'm going to have the phone number and the Instagram for her business right here on the screen. And I'm going to have some of the information in the description box right below this video. Just click right below the video, a drop down menu will appear and everything will be there for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into this rice flour Parsad recipe. So the first thing we have to do is start by making our milk mixture. Now usually whenever I make Parsad, I will put this in a little pot and I'll let everything heat up together. However, I'm going to do it a different way. I'm just going to mix it up in a measuring cup here, being that I'm making such a small batch of Parsad. So into my measuring cup, I'm adding in some white granulated sugar. If you wanted to use brown sugar for this, feel free to do so. And on top of that, I'm going to be going on with some boiling hot water, so this way it can melt the sugar. Once the sugar's melted, I'm going to go ahead and add in some evaporated milk, and we're going to stir everything together. Now that the milk mixture is done, it's time to start the cooking process. So in my heavy bottom pot, I'm going to go ahead and add in my ghee, and I want to put a big disclaimer. If you like your Parsad to be very rich with a lot of ghee, and you want it to be very, very moist, then add in this amount of ghee. But I'm going to leave a lesser amount of ghee in the description box below that you can use if you do not want it to be super rich like that, if you want it to be a little more crumbly. Into the hot ghee, I'm going in with a little piece of a cinnamon stick just to add some flavor, and I'm going to be adding in my rice flour. And we're just going to stir this together and leave it cooking on a medium heat until that rice flour gets nice and golden brown. So it's been almost 20 minutes in total, and as you all can see, this rice flour mixture has started to get very loose. You can see some of the ghee starting to release, and also it's gotten nice and golden brown in color. So at this point, I'm going to go in with my golden raisins, but just mix those in and raise your heat to a high heat now at this point, so this way the raisins can go ahead and plump up and we can get ready to add in that milk mixture. After about a minute, you're going to see that those raisins plump up into little balls. Now at this point, it is time to add in a little bit of cardamom or elaichi. This is just something that we do whenever we make Parsad. Now at this point, I'm going to start to stream in my milk mixture. Remember, like I said before, the heat needs to be on a high heat, so this way the rice flour can absorb all of the liquid properly. And I'm only adding in half right now, because whenever you make rice flour Parsad, cream of wheat Parsad, anything except for the flour version, it doesn't absorb the milk just like the flour does, so you have to add it in increments. You can see that it absorbed that milk mixture. I'm adding in another set, and I'm going to keep on stirring it until it's well combined as well. At this point, I'm going to go in with the rest of my milk mixture, and I'm also going to toss in some finely chopped maraschino cherries. A lot of people, when they make Parsad, they don't care for the cherries, so it is optional, but it's something that we love in ours. So we're just going to continue to mix this together until it comes together in one uniform ball that's leaving the sides of the pot. Now this next step is definitely optional, but I'm going to go ahead and add in a little drizzle of some condensed milk. What this is going to do, it's going to give it a nice little richness, and when you mix it in, it's going to give a big creaminess to the Parsad as well. So definitely give it a try if you like that rich, buttery Parsad texture. Now this is what you're going to be left with after mixing for a little while. As you can see, everything is well combined. My Parsad is nice and smooth. And of course, I was using the fine ground rice powder, which is why it came out this way. But this is perfect for me. I'm going to take it off of the heat. Like I mentioned before, if you want a Parsad that is a little bit more crumbly, you would add in less ghee, and I will leave it in the measurements down below in the description box. But this right here was perfect because it looks like this as it's sitting in the bowl, but once it dries for maybe about an hour or two and cools down, it gets a beautiful crumbly texture.
and it's also very smooth and creamy in your mouth when you're eating it.
So I really hope you all enjoyed my recipe for this rice flour parsad. Let me tell you guys, my family really enjoyed this one. It was super good, and the flavor and the texture were perfect. If you guys enjoyed the recipe today, please don't forget to give this video a nice big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed yet. Of course, remember to click that bell notification icon after you click the red subscribe button, so this way you're notified every time I post a new video on my channel. And of course, drop those comments down below, so this way you can let me know what you thought of this recipe and some new recipes you want to see in the future. And once again, a big shout out goes to Kavita over at Lotus Bazaar for sponsoring this outfit and all the other outfits you saw in my Navratri and Diwali series. Make sure you guys check her out for men's, women's, kids outfits, jewelry, and the whole shebang. I'll have some information right here on the screen, and I'll have it linked in the description box right below this video for your convenience as well. Let her know that Matthew from Matthew's Guyanese Cooking sent you, and I'll be seeing you guys again in my next video. Bye everyone.